was the amount of the tax refund or the exemption amount?
I believe that I got 1,000. It was like $1,100 back is what I got.
Right. Thank you. Right, Ms. Holder, brief response.
Yes. Well, I understand that the parties have had a difficult time communicating. The January text in which he says, "Can you send me the deal so I can claim Jack on taxes?" It's clear from Ms. Foreman's response that she knew what that was in relation to. And instead of getting into a fight about medical or not medical or child support or extracurriculars, she could have just said, "You owe $75. And while I understand that, and her thinking is he's never said, "What do I owe you?" This was his way of doing it, and she knew that, and she didn't want to get into it, and she didn't want to respond, and she didn't want to answer. And that's why we're asking for the clarification, is because it's very clear that the parties have a contentious relationship when it comes to communicating, when it comes to Mr. Foreman, checking or not checking emails or apps, Ms. Foreman putting a lot of information and thought into communicating with Mr. Foreman, and how much, she has tried to communicate in her way, he's tried to communicate in his way. It clearly doesn't match up, which is why we're asking for the court to come forward and clarify and say, "Ms. Foreman, this is how you are to tell him once a month how much he owes, so that he either doesn't have to ask, or that when he does ask, he gets a clear answer at a certain time so he knows what to expect." I think that might be part of the issue is the parties the expectations are just different. And that, again, is why we're asking that there needs to be a clarification made. This isn't about extracurriculars. This isn't about anything else. It's literally about how much does he owe in child support, how much does he owe in medical, so that he can make sure that he claims the child on taxes every year, if he's entitled to do that. And that's, again, why we're asking for this clarification.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So my sense here is I tend to agree that there just needs to be some guidance and help as far as the communication. Both parties see things differently. So as far as the going forward, it sounds like the parties at one point were using the Onward app, and that seems like it was an app that provided a lot of information, provided in a lot of different formats and ways. And it sounded like Mr. Foreman just simply wanted somebody to spoon feed him, and that he got overwhelmed. And that, there may be a lot of reasons why for the overwhelm. It may be a variety of things.